is a scene of a murder. Let me explain. That is Ivan the Terrible. Terrible, not like bad at his job, but terrible like terrifying. And he was terrifying. He transformed Russia from what it was, which was still sort of a feudal place, to basically an autocracy. He becomes the first like huge czar, and all the aristocrats have to line up under him. And he is still seeing a lot of forces that are trying to take over his land. Moscow gets burned, and he transforms it and builds it up into really the Rome of Asia, as it was sometimes called. But he did this through iron will. He went through so many wives, a couple in the same year. He just terrified all sorts of people, killed people, did whatever he needed to keep control and to grow his control and his power and his authority. And that included basically getting into it with his kids. And so he gets into it with his daughter-in-law. And supposedly their altercation is what causes her to miscarry. And then his son, also named Ivan, decides to go back to his dad and is very upset about it. And then he attacks his son. And then his son dies. And so his younger son, who he didn't like either, ends up taking over. And actually, I think the biggest miscalculation is, while the czars of the Romanovs that everyone knows really is in line with this in terms of how the government is structured and how the sort of authority and the aristocracy is, they are not in line with him like biologically, because his younger son dies childless. So despite creating this whole empire, he didn't literally become the father of the empire.